I've reviewed First Blood and Rambo First Blood Part 2. So go check out those reviews if you have not seen them. Today we are going to tackle the third film in the series, and that is Rambo 3. Very simple title. Kind of reminds me of like Rocky, you know, Rocky 1, Rocky 2, Rocky 3, Rocky 4, Rocky 5, Rocky Balboa. That screwed it up. But there's no First Blood anymore. Not even in a subtitle. Now it's just Rambo 3. I gotta say, I used to hate this film when I was younger. I would always skip it. Because, you know, back when it was a trilogy, when Rambo was a trilogy, I'd watch First Blood, I'd watch Rambo First Blood Part 2, and not even watch this one. Because I did not like it. I didn't care for the story. It had a lot of action, but I just wasn't interested. Then the fourth movie came out, and I love the fourth movie. And I remember going back to each of the movies, and even this one, and started to like this movie a lot more. To where, right now, I feel that this is an underrated action gem. I really like Rambo 3. I don't know what I was thinking. I mean, it was the same thing for me with Back to the Future 3. When, you know, Back to the Future is a great trilogy. But again, I'd always watch Back to the Future and Back to the Future 2. And I'd never really watched Back to the Future 3. But now, I love Back to the Future 3. I consider that series like a perfect trilogy. I thought the same way with Indiana Jones, but then we got the fourth movie. Go figure. But yeah, Rambo. Rambo 3 is awesome. Very, very underrated. I don't know what I was thinking. It's a 1988 American action film directed by Peter MacDonald, who did Neverending Story 3. Wow. Failure. But he's more of a second unit director, so to say. He does a lot of cinematography work and stuff like that. It's co-written by Stallone. Of course, he comes back as Rambo. Richard Crenna as Colonel Troutman. In his last performance as Troutman, you know, before his heart failure in 2003. Rest in peace, Richard Crenna. He's awesome. Kurtwood Smith. Music by Jerry Goldsmith, of course. You got to keep with that. You got to keep with the same kind of music and composer. Budget of 50 to 60 million and made 189 million at the box office. This was actually the most expensive movie ever made at that time. Until I believe it's 1989, where Back to the Future Part 2 beat it. There was something about... There's like a lot of different cuts, I guess. There's like, you know, the runtime actually goes over the limit, and then there's certain formats where things are cut, like on VHS and different versions of that, and then DVD, of course, and then Blu-ray. There are like different versions where things are cut, things are added, things like that. It's very different. I didn't really notice any of that stuff, or maybe I just wasn't looking, but like I said, I don't ever really remember any of that. Of course, this was never my favorite, so I wouldn't. But it was the most expensive movie at that time. That's just crazy. But it's got a very simple plot. It's basically where Rambo sets out on a dangerous journey to Afghanistan to rescue his former military commander, Colonel Troutman, who's also his best friend, pretty much. Rambo was the best to eat things that make a billy goat puke. He's in the hands of a ruthless Soviet army colonel who wants to kill both Rambo and Troutman. And, you know, Rambo pretty much takes on everybody in this. There's helicopter stuff. You know, he's blowing up stuff with his bow and arrow. Machine guns. It's, you know, Rambo is jacked in this movie. He is ripped. His veins are popping out. I mean, in the beginning, you know, he's wearing his band on his head, his bandana thing. He when he ties it, you can just see the muscles. He's just freaking ripped. It almost looks like he went to the gym before he did any of this. Like he was pumping iron and just to do this. It's crazy how ripped he is in this movie. But some really, really cool action scenes. And I think it's like, you know, the Afghanistan setting, I don't think appeals to a lot of people, like maybe compared to, you know, the settings to, you know, for the other movies. I think maybe some people found it boring, even though this movie actually got mixed reviews. But at least they weren't like fully negative, I want to say. But Stallone won a Razzie Award for Worst Actor. He was nominated for something else, but yeah, a Razzie for it. He didn't, to be honest, he didn't really do much in this as far as acting. He just, there was a lot of action. That's about it. But if you want to go to this movie to see his acting chops, I mean, go to another movie. Like, go watch Copland. But in 1990, the Guinness Book of Records actually deemed Rambo 3 the most violent film ever, with like 221 acts of violence, 70 explosions, over 108 characters killed on screen. So there was a lot going on until this movie, which beat it. This movie, I think, had 236 kills on screen. But you get the point. This movie is, you know, it was deemed very violent in 1990. With a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, there's just a lot of things about this film that people didn't like, and there's a lot of things about this film too that I think people need to see. You know, a great action film, and if people hear about the negative reviews or even mixed reviews, they probably won't even waste their time with this one. But you know, my mind has changed, just like on a lot of things. I used to hate Halloween 3, and now I really like Halloween 3. But, yeah, great acting by Richard Crenna. And Stallone, like I says, he does his job, just like the other movies. Like, you don't see his acting chops. It's got great music. This has a lot of special features here, like a documentary. In-depth look at Rambo's fictionist involvement in Afghanistan, which that whole thing is fictional, but... it's even got a commentary by Peter McDonald. But anyway, yeah, really, really good movie. Very underrated as far as action flicks go. If I were to... Here's the thing. When Rambo Last Blood comes out, I'm going to review it, and then I'm going to rank the Rambo films. As of right now, I love all the Rambo films. I love them all. I mean, that could change if I see Last Blood. Maybe I won't like it. But as of right now, I like all the Rambo films. So even if I rank them where I go worst to best, whatever ends up being the worst, that's not saying much. That's not even saying that I hate it. So, you know, when I was, like I said, if I was younger and I ranked them, this would probably be at the bottom for sure. But anyway, really, really good action film. Like I said, very underrated. If you have not seen Rambo 3, definitely check it out. Rambo takes on a lot more guys than he did in Rambo 2. And you remember in Rambo 2, where he took on that whole army in helicopters and blowing stuff up with his bow and arrow, you know, hiding in the dirt, like camouflaging himself, takes out guys. You know, he does a lot of stuff here. I mean, it's a one-man army here. He really shows what he can do in Rambo 3. But anyway, yeah, if you haven't checked out Rambo 3, definitely check it out. I think you'd really like it. So yeah, that's my review for Rambo 3. Not really much to say. It's very simple film. And like I said, I think it gets overlooked a lot. People probably hear of the negative reviews or even mixed reviews and don't even waste their time. But that's definitely not the case. I think you should check it out. Stay tuned for my next video where I'm going to review Rambo. the fourth installment. I'm even going to talk about the extended cut as well. So stay tuned for that review. Alright guys, this is Rob signing off. Let me know in the comments what you think of this movie and some of the other films in the Rambo series. Also subscribe for more content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.